and welcome to today's video. Tonight we are going to hang out in the pasture with the horses while the sun sets. So I'm going to turn the camera around on the horses so you can look at them and not me because that's way more interesting. And yeah, we'll just hang out. So thank you for joining tonight. We have the chat on, so feel free to... That was not nice, Nakona. Big bully. Hi, Jim. Thanks for joining. Nakona got all dolled up today. I didn't do it. It's not my style. Hi, Joanne. Okay, so now I got to try to put my... Sorry for the jumbling around here for a second. I got to try to get my... Try to get my tripod on. I wasn't thinking ahead. Okay, sorry about that. So you guys are gonna hang out here on the tractor for a minute. Hey, this might work out pretty good. Look at that. Maybe? Sorry. My gosh. Well, this is just ridiculous. I'm sorry, guys. I just got to get this tripod fixed because I didn't do this in advance. Bear just walked over here, and something really exciting. There's Mr. Bear right there, my favorite little pony on the planet. Today is Bear's birthday. Well, we don't actually know when his true birthday is, so what we do with any of the horses here is if we don't know their actual birthday, we just kind of pick one. So today is my childhood horse's birthday. His name's Poco. He was the most amazing horse that ever lived. But anyway, Poco, his birthday was today. So when we got Bear, we didn't know his actual birthday, so we always pick one. And so we just decided that May 5th would be a great birthday for Bear. And yeah, and then he can share one with Poco. So, all right, I'm gonna turn you guys back around. Such a nice night tonight. We've got the minis here. The minis have their dry little track that they get to hang out on now. I got a funny story about them from this week. Well, it's not really funny. It actually made me quite crabby, but it's funny now because it's over with. If you're tuning in, make sure to send a message in the chat so we can see who's here. And if you have any questions, by all means, please do. So we've got a lot of mud. Oh yes, there are hay bags, but I just put this hay over here so we could hang out. The minis don't have hay nets right now because I've got to put a couple of posts in the ground to hang them on in their area. I have all of my hay nets. You can see them. Well, there's one right there. That one's leaning. That one's not happy. That one looks great. But I've got all my hay nets over there. So a bunch of the horses are still over there. They'll make their way over here once they realize that there's some loose hay. So no, this is strictly for live stream purposes that I gave the horses all a bunch of loose hay and put them up on this nice dry hill so we could sit and visit and watch. That was a great question. My hay nets have been a blessing this year, especially just because we've had so much mud. I feel like that's all I talk about is mud. But I feel like it's been the polka dotted horse. John is asking, where did I get that horse? If you go to my channel, I have a video in my series, Meet the Horses. This is Nakona, and I did a video on her. So if you want to know all about Nakona, go check out that video and it will explain all about her. So the weather is very nice right now. We're very lucky because a year ago on May 1st, we got 3 feet of snow in a matter of like 48 hours. It was horrible. Absolutely terrible snowstorm. So right now we're very lucky because yes, it is decent, but we keep going back and forth. Hi, Katie. Yay. My good friend Katie is with us. That's awesome. So anyway, oh yeah, and this horse came from Katie. Now I understand the comment. So we're very lucky that we don't have snow right now, yes. But we do have a horrendous amount of mud, and the mud is making things difficult right now. So I've been posting the Meet the Horses video once a week, and you guys didn't get one last week because the mud is dragging me down. So that's why. But I figured a live stream tonight where we could just kind of hang out with all the horses would be a good thing. So these little minis, let me tell you a story about these minis. And I'm going to especially talk about this guy here because he is one of the ringleaders. This is Dude. I also have a video about him in my Meet the Horses series. Dude is a character. He's very funny, but he's a poop head. So I'll explain. And then this guy here is Sherman. And Sherman is also a stinker. So let me give you a little rundown of what happened. This was last week. So I got my tractor there. I had my tractor pretty much in the same spot that it's at. Okay. I'll show you I'm going to show you this because it's cool. So see how muddy it is? I don't want to walk through that. So I didn't want to go put the tractor away and then have to walk back out here to talk to you guys. But I always put my spike up because it's safer, of course. But this is funny. I always feel like when I'm driving the tractor with the spike that I'm driving a narwhal. So I always try to keep the spike up just because I'm so afraid of spearing somebody. But okay, last week, my story. I was parked, about right there. All right. See these feeders? I was filling these feeders. All the minis, see where they're at right now? They're in like a little alley. And the minis were all kind of hanging out. Now, the minis got incredibly chubby this winter. So chubby. Like they look really good right now, but it was bad. So, and their area is very wet. So I needed to figure out a solution for them. So I got all this fencing here fixed for them to be out in this area. Usually I do not have horses in this alley that they're in. See, it just kind of goes like that way. It's just a divider between the pastures. So I'm like, this will be a great place for the minis and they'll move more and they'll have more dry area and I can kind of control their feeding a little bit more because in their other area, they just had one of the big feeders and they basically just stood at it all day, every day and ate. So last week I am filling up my hay feeders and they had hay. And see, this is the good hay. This is the really good hay. I spoiled them a little, gave them some of the good hay for the video so they'd all be hanging out here. But they're getting some hay that's a little lesser quality because they need less quality food because minis gain weight very easily and 4 of them ended up with laminitis over the winter. So anyway, Sherman, this little guy, he's watching me. I've got my tractor parked down there and I've got a 900-pound bale and I'm getting ready to fill the feeders. And this wire here, it doesn't break, okay? I really love this fencing. It's from Premier One, and it's got a heck of a jolt to it as well. So I like it a lot. And it's supposed to last a long time, and it's very easy to work with. So I was super excited that I got all this fixed, replaced. And so Sherman is sitting there watching me put this hay out. And he had hay in his area, but he decided that he really wanted the good quality hay. And so Sherman, now this is where the big problem lies, is the fence was not turned on. Somebody forgot to turn the fence back on, and that's kind of a big deal for me, is I'm always on everybody's case, turn the fence back on if you shut it off. So the fence was not on. I found that out after. Thank you, Kathy. So Sherman had one of those moments, like you watch him and he was thinking about doing something that he shouldn't do. And what he did was he bulldozed his little pork chop self through the bottom wire, ripped down a large majority of it. Okay, I'm gonna show you. So from like, there's a gate like way down here. Okay, way down there. Okay, all the way to like down here somewhere. And see how this T-post is bent? Okay, so there's that bent T-post. There was a whole bunch of broken insulators, and he pulled all that wire down so he could get to the good hay. He broke a gate, and the little, the insulators that you put on the bottom of a T-post for a gate latch are super annoying to change out. And I had just put it on there like days prior. So I was pretty crabby about this situation. So he runs over and he's all excited about this hay. And then I have all these other minis that are in here, and I'm like, oh no, they're all gonna run through there, because as you can see, this top wire, this middle wire here, is definitely tall enough for them to sneak under. So the bottom wire is the important one in this situation. So I'm like, yep, Sally's here. I'll show you her in a minute. So I'm like, I need to get these minis to the barn so they don't end up with my entire herd. I don't need all the minis mixed in with all of my horses. That would just be just a mess. Oh, and by this time it was like 8:30 at night. So I'm running out of daylight. So Sherman, I get all the minis into the barn and put them in stalls so they're contained. And Sherman is out just running around with my herd. And of course, he's getting his butt kicked by everybody. And then I can't catch him. I spent nearly an hour. Well, Sherman was in my pasture for about an hour before he got caught finally. And the little bugger, and we had so much mud, and of course I wasn't wearing mud boots. I was wearing pack boots. So I'm running around out here with the wrong boots, trying to catch this little bugger. And I finally outsmarted him, and I opened up a gate, and then I just sort of cornered him and pushed him through there, where the other horses, they didn't care to go out there because they had hay, you know. So that's how I captured Sherman. So Sherman went into a stall for the night, and the rest of the minis got to hang out behind my barn. We call it the small barn, and there's like a dry area, and then all the gates are off of there. So if I need to, I can put horses in that area like for a night or so. So now fast forward to the next day. Sherman is still in a stall, and I have a group lesson with 6 kids, okay? And Beck, my assistant, is here. And Beck is like, oh, well, I can go out and fix the fence while you're doing your lesson. And I was like, oh, that's perfect, you know, because that needs to be done, because these minis got to go somewhere. They got to go back out in their area. But I didn't have time to fix it, of course, because all this nonsense had happened so late at night, and it was dark, and I have kids to get to bed and that kind of stuff. So why are you standing on that? See, this is why you're not allowed to have loose hay, is because you do things like that. We don't stand on our hay. And now I'm over here also listening for my chickens, because, hello, Canada. We had a coyote this week. I'll tell you that story too. Just give me a minute. I'll finish this one first. But I'm listening for the chickens because we have a coyote situation. And I had to let the chickens out because a few of them snuck out. And it's the only way to get them all back in the coop. So anyway, so I'm in this group lesson with 6 kids. And Beck calls me. And she says, because we have a big roll-up door on our barn. She says, the minis just rolled up the door and took off. And while she was fixing fence. So by the time she got to the barn, the minis had all kind of scattered through the barn and were outside. And she managed to grab Daisy. Daisy is one of the polka dots in the back. Okay. She's a stinker as well. So she got Daisy, and then this big mare here, that's Dancer. Dancer has some metabolic issues, and she just does really well with these little ones. So that's why she's there. So anyway, Daisy, Beck grabs Daisy, locks her up. This little guy is Eddie. Eddie was in the lesson. That's Apple. And then we have Dude. And then Rosie is there. Sherman is there. And Dancer. Okay? Dancer is a Tennessee Walker. So Daisy, the polka dot one, is left behind. Eddie is with me. Sherman is still locked in a stall because he was super naughty. So he wasn't allowed out yet. So we had Dancer, Rosie, Dude, and Apple all take off. All right. So Beck calls me. She tells me what's happening. And then I say it. She's like, here, these guys are going to get cute. They're going to start scratching each other. So she says, I do not need your help right now. I'll call you if I feel like I need you, because she knew I was in a lesson. She said, but the minis all just escaped. And this is the first time in 14 years of living here that we've had horses actually like escape. Like, they'll go like, if one gets loose, it'll go in the yard and eat some grass, something like that. And especially with minis, you would think that that's what they would do because they're such little piglets. And you can see that there's green grass, over there. So this is Blossom and Sprocket. Oh, aren't they cute? If you think they're cute, give this video a thumbs up. No, seriously though, it does help my channel when you give a thumbs up for stuff. Puts it out into the algorithm more, makes it so other people see it. That's how that stuff works. Okay, so I say to all the kids, and I'm like, oh no, all the minis are loose. We're going to have to go round up minis on horseback. And they're like, yeah. And I was like, no, I'm totally kidding. Because these kids were not at a level where, sure, that does sound like fun. And it would be fun if everybody I knew was going to be advanced enough to do that. But so we were just kind of holding tight, doing our lesson, having a good time, and waiting while Beck rounded up these minis. And basically what happened is they took off, in my understanding, I wasn't here. They took off across here. My horses were all down there where they're at right now, and they all took off. My horses all took off running through the pasture. So then the minis got excited and took off, and they went running right through the woods. Okay. And there's a lot of swamp back there. So it was a 2-hour lesson. Beck had called me pretty much in the beginning, and it was near the end when she finally got the horses caught. So they went gallivanting through all sorts of brush and swamp and creeks and you name it, and finally got captured. So that was the excitement then. So the big moral of my story and theme for the week is turn on the damn fence when you're done with it. If you shut the fence off, turn it back on so nothing escapes. And horses are not safe behind a roll-up door because they can open it. Those minis opened the roll-up door themselves. And when I say roll-up door, I mean it's a big, heavy door that you have to roll up to the ceiling. How they managed to roll it up, I don't know, but they did. Look at how cute these guys are. So cute. I love this. See, I would do this every night. Come hang out with these guys. I should do it every night because it makes me really happy to be out here. Look at, you can tell, this is Sprocket. He's one of my personal horses. Poor neglected little soul. Look at all the, not really, he's not neglected. He is living his life happy as can be. But look at all the hair. He was laying in the muck, but he needs to be brushed out. He's got chunks of hair that he's shedding that need to come off. And Blossom has the cutest mustache ever. Stop moving. Isn't that adorable? So the fence got fixed. It's super hot, so you don't want to touch that. You don't want to touch it. It hurts. They know it's hot. They know when it's not on. But they are respecting it and staying where they belong. So everybody's back together and happy. All right. Somebody asked, Nakona got her tail washed today. She's got some dry skin issues going on now. She was dewormed. Look at this. See how she has like missing hair at the top of her tail? It is growing back, but her tail just got washed today. And I'm thinking that it might be a little bit dry now and itchy. So we were having issues with that. Horses will rub the tops of their tails when they are wormy. But yeah, that's super flaky, dry skin. So I'm going to have to put something on that tomorrow. I'm not doing it tonight. But yeah, when they have pinworms, they'll get real itchy. And I'm going to show this. This is important learning for you guys. When they have pinworms, the pinworms will come out and they'll lay their eggs all the way around here. Okay. And so the only way that you can check a horse for pinworms is to take a piece of like Scotch tape and like pat around the area and then have a vet look at it, or if your eye is trained to look at it under a microscope to find pinworm eggs. So that's how, hi Sharon, thanks for joining. That's how you know if your horse has pinworms. You cannot do a fecal on them though. Poor girl. But I think that this is, because like I said, she's been dewormed. And we had the same issue with her last spring. I think this is a dry skin irritation issue. So that's a bummer. Well, it'd be worse if she had worms, but she's like, please scratch my bum. It's so itchy. But yeah, I got to get something on there. I really like to use Coat Defense for this sort of thing. It's a powder. You just sprinkle it on there and it seems to really, really help. Yes, so Jim says that the horses can hear the fence charger pulsing in the wires when it cycles on and off. Yes, that is absolutely true. So like I tell people all the time, the horses know when the fence is on. They absolutely know. They can feel that energy that's there. Like they'll go and they'll put their nose right next to it. And horses, they can feel so much through their whiskers. They'll go and they'll put their nose right next to it and they can feel that. They can sense it. So they will test it. Hi, Miss Ona, pretty girl. And then we have Miss Sally. Ona will always scooch herself to where she wants to be pet. How is Manzer's training going? Sharon, I haven't done a dang thing with him. So Ona, she'll scooch down. Now, I was on him one time last summer, and then he had an abscess. I'm not in a hurry to start him by any means. He is going to be 5 next week, so which is just crazy to believe. He's going to be 5, and I've had, like I said, one ride on him last summer. I've done plenty of groundwork with him. So is my assistant, but I'm in no hurry to get riding him. I'll be riding him this year for sure, but I'm just not in any kind of rush. So he'll get it when it works out for me. But see, now Eddie's got to make the trek all the way to the water, so he's getting some exercise. It's good for him. So yeah, Manzer is just getting to be a horse and hang out. Yeah, so somebody just said you can hold a blade of grass against an electric fence to see if it's on. You will get zapped if you do that. So I've done that. If you touch anything where you're going to be grounded, you're going to get zapped. So no thanks. Look at Ona's like, I just really want you to scratch me. mud pie. But she'll keep scooching herself forward until I get to her bum because she likes her bum scratched. Sally had a nice ride today. One of the girls that leases, the girl that leases Nash rides Sally as well. And she was riding her today. She had a great ride. It was awesome. Super duper awesome. All right, so my coyote story. This is Nash right here. For those of you that don't know Nash, my foster failure, I have a great video about him where I explain his whole story in detail. I don't want to get into details about any of the horses because if you want to know, you can just go and watch those. I don't have everybody. I'm slowly picking away at them. This little one right here, that's Daffodil. That's my daughter's pony. She is a little Spitfire. Absolutely love that pony. Okay, so my coyote story. Last Saturday, so a week ago, I went and did a CPL class. So I'm excited because I'll have a concealed carry. And so I had just done that. So this was Sunday. So Saturday I did the CPL class, went shooting. It was awesome. Had a great time. Learned a ton. Sunday, I hear my chickens, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted my CPL, is so I can carry anytime I want. So the chickens, I heard the chickens just throwing a fit, okay? And I glance out the window on my way by the living room, and there's a coyote right behind my house chasing my chickens around, okay? And our chickens, we've got some chickens that are very, very special to us, okay? So our chickens are our pets. So I don't want them to be coyote snacks. So I started yelling from inside of the house, ran outside in my slippers in the rain, and I had let the chickens out because I'm like, well, if, they're pretty safe. Usually I let them out later when I'm outside and stuff, but I'm like, well, it's raining and stuff. They're probably pretty safe. Well, duh, coyotes don't care if it's raining. They're going to hunt no matter what. So, and I have some pretty squawky roosters that like to make all kinds of noise and probably lures them in. So anyway, I run outside and I start yelling at this coyote, and I get about 50 feet away from it before it finally takes off. And it runs to the edge of the fence line. So like right over here, okay? It runs right there. And sits down and just watches me. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, my gun is in the house and ready to go, but I don't want to leave because then this coyote is going to go over there and pluck away some of my chickens while I run in the house. So I sat there for probably 20 minutes and had a stare down with this coyote. And it was very bold. Very, very bold. It made me very uncomfortable how bold it was. But we've had problems with that before where we've caught one just standing on the back of on the chicken ramp at night. Like you go to close up and there's a coyote standing on the ramp and it doesn't leave when you yell at it. So they get pretty bold. So I'm all about protecting my critters. Nice, Blossom. Blossom is the gassiest horse that I have. And we have mountain lions around here, cougars, whatever you want to call them. We have a lot of wolves, which are protected. Did you know that? So if I came out here and I saw, say, little Daisy right there, the little polka dotted mini. Say I came out here and there's a wolf attacking her. Legally, I am not allowed to do anything about it. I have to just let that wolf eat my pony. Isn't that terrible? Coyotes, though, are fair game. Apparently. See how Sprocket just like turned his butt Nash and then Nash moved? It was equine communication at its finest. He's like, excuse me, I'd like you to move, please. Yeah, Kayla, it's true. Isn't that terrible? Wolves are protected, and they are so, there's so many of them. There's so many of them. Blossom is so sweet. She's the horse that goes around. Look at how cute. She goes around and itches everybody. She's always like, I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine. And it's like, yep, that's the spot. Isn't this great just to hang out here with them? I hope you guys are enjoying this. This kind of stuff to me is what having horses is all about. Sprocket? No. Oh my God, Sprocket is right there. Then Nakona's over there rolling in the background. Getting nice and dirty after her bath today. When horses scratch each other, they really get into it. I hope they're happy, Kayla. Kayla says they all look so happy. And if you're tuning in here, you know, this is a live stream. And so if you turn on the chat, you'll be able to see what everybody says, and it's kind of easier to follow along. Oh my gosh, you are such a pest. You're a pest. Look at how huge this horse is next to Sally. Sally's just a peanut. No. Oh, are you guys going to itch each other now? Bye, Jim. Thanks for joining. Thank you. I appreciate it. Nakona's like, don't use your teeth. Sharon is asking which horse was or is my heart horse. So Poco was my childhood horse, and he's definitely a heart horse. Nika is a heart horse. So they're all, gosh, you know, I have so many, and they're so special, all of them. Man, they are really getting involved in their scratching here. Wow. It's intense. I know, anytime oh gosh. Nakona's sniffing with the minis behind me. Anytime I'm scratching a horse and then they start trying to use teeth, I'm like, no teeth. Because if you scratch them, they try to scratch you. They like to reciprocate. Okay, I gotta go back here and look at. Hopefully I don't interrupt. Oh, darn. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Oh, there she goes back into it. Blossom, I think Ona wants you to use your teeth more because she's using her teeth on you. Hi, Peggy. Thanks for joining. That's awesome. Say hi to Larry for me. Larry's her horse, and Larry is Nakona's full brother. My polka dotted horse, it's her full brother. And if you guys have no idea what I just was talking about, my friend Peggy commented, and she owns Nakona's full brother. See, so many people don't get to experience this part of horses, and I love it so much. I would just sit here all day. Sprocket so badly wants to be involved. Yes, Sharon, Poco and Miss Kitty were besties, big time. They were together for many, many years. Miss Kitty was just a baby when, well, let me think here. I got Poco in 1990, and Miss Kitty was born in 1993. So we already had Poco. But I remember when we put Miss Kitty out with Poco, and she was just a baby. And he was actually really mean to her then. But just to kind of show you, Miss Kitty is buried right over here, and Poco is buried in the woods over there. This here is Reuben, my mule pony. He's got a video too. Hi, Daffodil. Look at, isn't she just the cutest? I just love her. She is such a little spitfire. I tell my daughter, I'm like, if she were my size, she'd be mine. I have ridden her. I'm definitely too big for her, but I can get on her and ride her around for a little bit. It's fine. Doesn't hurt her. No, Miss Kitty's mom is not buried here. Miss Kitty's mom is at my parents' house. So my mom owned her. Miss Kitty was born at my parents' farm. Well, and I'm sorry that we've got Manzer and Nika are over there. And Dreamer and Nellie and Slip, Lucky, Dexter, Annabelle. I can't tell who else. I have too many horses. I don't remember which other ones are over there. Glory. Nope, Glory's here. Glory's that one right there, that little brown one, little sorrel. But at least you guys got to see some of the horses tonight. I'll do this again. If this is something that you enjoy, make sure to leave me a comment. Let me know. I like to know these things. And I'm trying to do a live stream at least once a month for you guys. Well, thanks, Sharon. And I have not done, things have gotten so busy. We never had, we really didn't get winter here, which is like unheard of. We always have winter. We always have too much winter. And so I feel like, I mean, we had so much spring weather. We were dragging pastures in March. It was just the strangest thing. And so, like, I just don't feel like I had that nice break that I get in the winters. So I feel like it's already like June, July. Look how cute these two are being. Blossom's like, I'll itch you too. So, but I'll make it a point now to get some more editing done. And when the horses are so muddy, I mean, I know you guys don't care if my horses are dirty, but thanks, Peggy. I will. I'll try to give more notice too. This is supposed to be a member live stream. So my members, we try to do a live stream every Sunday night, and we miss one here and there, but for the most part, pretty good about it. And this is what I did with my members the last time, is we came out here but see, the members get the scoop on everything. That's the only difference, is they got some inside scoop. Oh, sorry, Reuben. Didn't mean to distract. He's like, I've been spotted. Isn't that cute? Little Reuben. Oh, Poor Muffin. Muffin has, sorry for that horrible sound. Muffin has a little bit of diarrhea. She got, anytime she eats loose alfalfa, like where I don't have it in the feeders, she gets diarrhea. So, and I've been feeding my horses alfalfa lately. Poor Muffin. Thanks, Melissa. So yeah, I'll get cracking. We did, I don't know if you guys saw the video I did a couple months ago and a few months ago now of Dreamer, one of my newest horses, well, my newest horse, getting some composite shoes done. Well, we did her neck shoes last week, and so I got that all videoed, and I'll get that up for you guys so you can see how well her hooves have improved. It's pretty awesome. Besides that, nothing exciting. Lots of lessons. Lots of things like that. We have the vet coming tomorrow. Vet's coming to do all of our spring vaccines and Coggins. Can you see how rough Ona is being with Blossom there? She's like really using her teeth. That means when, yay, Katie, I can't wait to have Festus come back. That'll be so awesome. When a horse uses their teeth like that. So when I get to scratching on Blossom, or no, not Blossom. This is Blossom. That's Ona. They're both buckskins, quarter horses. But Ona, you can see she is like really digging in there. And then Blossom is just kind of going real gentle. Well, when I scratch Blossom, Blossom likes when I scratch her a little more gentle. But Ona, she's like tearing in there. She's like, scratch me harder. So I have this little like scratchy stick. I'll show you sometime. It's just got like a little handle. I should have brought it out here with me because it's really fun to use out here when I just walk around the herd and scratch everybody. Thanks, Kathy. I'm glad you enjoy it. And so this scratchy stick, I can like really put a ton of pressure on Ona, and she just loves it. She's like, the harder you scratch her, the more she loves it. So watch the horses, and the way they treat the others as far as this kind of stuff goes is how they would like it done. It's so sweet. Good girl, Blossom. You're so sweet. Yeah, Megan, you actually should use it. It's so awesome. Nikki usually uses it on the horses when she's holding horses for the farrier. They love it. So now I have to do a video just on the scratchy stick now that I brought it up because the horses like it so much. And it's from the company I think is called Scratch and All. Oh, Annabelle's making her way over. She's trudging through the mud. She just realized, she's like, wait a minute, there's a party going on over there that I wasn't invited to. The heck? Oh, you guys, keep us in your thoughts for sunshine. Just keep happy, sunny thoughts. We need sunshine because we have so much mud. Like every time it starts to dry up, it rains again. And when it dries up, it's really nice, but my gosh. Hey, Banana Bell. They switch sides again. We got some geese flying over. The cranes have been back for a while. Last summer we had 6 cranes here, sandhill cranes. And so far this year, I did see 4 of them. So I hope we end up with all 6 again. You know, and this is stuff to think about too when you're petting your horse. Think about how, like, if you could see Blossom right now, the way Blossom is kind of like rubbing circles. Of course she stopped. But she was like rubbing circles on her. That's what horses like for being pet, is to be rubbed, okay? So like, see how she's like rubbing on her? She does circles, sort of. That's the way horses like to be pet. So if you're going to pet a horse, do this, okay? Or circles. But they don't like that. And actually, when I did that, I wish I would have had it on Ona's face, because when I pat her like that, she kind of lifted her head up a little bit. They don't like it. So whenever I see people patting their horses, they don't realize that, like, if you watch the horse's expression, they just don't like it. So if you're going to reward your horse by petting them, do it in a manner that they like, you know? Blossom's like, oh, I like that. She just like stopped right in her tracks. She was going to take a bite of hay and she's like, oh, I like that. Now, don't run into me, everybody. She's like, don't stop. I liked that. Watch your lip. She's like, oh yeah, that's the spot right there. Oh. This horse is so chubby. This is Blossom. Look at, she's got this groove going down her back. This horse has no withers. Absolutely no withers. But when it rains, water sits in her back. She's a little chubby right now. I got to get riding her more. Haven't been doing it enough. And here is my favorite little guy. I just love him. Oh gosh, that was terrible. She just farted right in my face. Mr. Bear. Bear. Jeez. I'm in a terrible spot. She's gross, isn't she? Okay, guys, I think that's it. We're gonna wrap this up on Bear's birthday. 20 years old, I can't believe it. He was like 4 when I started him. Can't believe I've known Bear for so many years. And I'm so thankful. He's such a great pony. He's just wonderful. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks for tuning in and always just being so dang supportive. You guys are really awesome. I appreciate it so much. And here's Nellie. And now Blossom's at it again with Sprocket. Blossom's always looking for itches. Okay, I'm going to head back before it's totally dark. Thanks for watching the sunset with me. And almost down over there. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. Bye.